I think there's very little doubt that one of the joys and frustrations of our industry comes in the form of creativity or creative effectiveness. It's this really amorphous, difficult to define thing that tends to sit within the marketing department. It ties up huge amounts of our budget and time, it can transform or destroy brands, and yet it's probably not given the focus it deserves, or certainly the right focus in terms of how it's understood, talked about, supported, embedded in an organisation. Now, we do of course know that it works. We're very lucky to be in an age where there's plenty of evidence to support that. But conversely, we're also in an age where it's really under pressure from a focus on what's instantly measurable, which tends to take you down a route of a short-term bias. Whereas actually, a proper culture of marketing and creative effectiveness should lend itself to one that manages to get both the long-term brand building and short-term performance working hand in hand. So at Oxford, we never look at creativity in isolation. We look at it as part of the entire marketing ecosystem in a business, how it's born in brand growth strategy, how it helps to unlock well-defined business challenges, how it links the long and the short term, the consumer and the shopper, and how it connects the business and its brands with what's going on in the world outside. And that really means for a business finding your way of doing it, which is not just the right skills, partnerships, investment and so on, but importantly the right culture that makes sure that creative effectiveness is owned from the inside and goes all the way to the top. So question one is always, do you have that supportive culture where creativity can thrive? Is it part of leadership conversations? Is it recognised and rewarded? Is considered risk-taking actively encouraged and supported? Is diversity allowed to thrive? Does the business take a long enough term view to ensure that creativity is given time to work its magic and stop all those forces at work that kind of pull creative bravery back to the average? And then question two, how are you supporting your teams with the right skills and routines to be able to do it? And that's where you need to help teams by building their capabilities and actually being more creative effective, because it's something that can be learnt. So things like knowing what works in creative effectiveness, how to define and measure it over the right time periods, giving you your own language of creative bravery and ways of talking about it, evaluating it, scaling it, knowing how to simply define a creative problem from your brand strategy, helping you work it as a team sport with your creative teams and agencies through better briefs and briefings and ways of working, and then building those long-term creative platforms and really knowing how to amplify them in the right places and at the right times through the consumer journey. So you have to ask yourself, if you have both the culture in place and the skills and routines that will deliver greater creative effectiveness, then importantly, how well does it really join with everything else that you're asking your teams to do?